Saudi Arabia, people are being sentenced to torture for very petty crimes, such as stealing, women cheating on their husbands, but in other cases, such as armed robbery or grand theft auto, people are being sentenced to death, even if they didn't hurt anybody. It is incredibly obvious that Saudi Arabia is violating a major human right. There is even a part in the Human Rights Agreement that states no one man shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment. And helping the people in Saudi Arabia should be one of the many top priorities of the world, while people in the United States and other countries amongst the world sit back and eat a sandwich on a hot day by the pool. People in Saudi Arabia are having jumper cables attached to their bodies with live currents traveling through it. There are many resources that could be obtained by helping the people in Saudi Arabia. The greatest one would be gaining an ally. If we were to help end the use of torture in Saudi Arabia, we would gain the public's favor. They would be grateful to us. Even though the United States of America has the greatest military force on the face of the earth, it's always a little helpful to have a little help. Hey, you never know when you might need some crazy bastard with a bomb strapped to his chest to run into an enemy bunker. If the issue were to be solved, which would be no easy manner, trust me, the rest of the world would be able to use Saudi Arabia for resources. There are an abundance of natural resources which are hidden in Saudi Arabia, such as natural gases, iron ore, gold, and copper. There's really not much to it. There has been torture in Saudi Arabia for as long as anyone can remember. They have always resorted to torture. This is because it is almost worse than death. Torture is when being held down while a man inflicts excruciating pain on your body. To them, it is an easy and effective method that not only teaches the victim a lesson, but strikes fear into the hearts of others. Torture is a crude method used by heartless dictators or even at a time in a democracy. It can be very effective in acquiring information, but can also be very pointless in a sense, whether for the greater good or not, evil. I personally believe that with the help of other nations, the people in Saudi Arabia could form a right and completely push out the government of Saudi Arabia and start over, however they wanted to. The people in Saudi Arabia greatly outnumber the people in their government. They could easily form a riot. All they need is something that the government does that pushes them over the top. People in Saudi Arabia have been riding on the borderline for an incredible amount of time. I am quite surprised that people in Saudi Arabia haven't already constructed a riot with all the horrible things the government has done to the people. Like sentencing that one man to 10 years in jail and 1,000 lashes. If nations choose to lend a helping hand, they could be saving a lot of innocent people's lives, or even ending the horrible suffering that some people are experiencing in jail. Now, I understand that there's a lot of controversy about how not all nations are buddy-buddy. I'm not saying they all have to help. Even if only one nation was to help, they could make a huge difference. The people in Saudi Arabia do not need weapons and experience in order to form a riot. All they really need is people to inspire them to get up and fight. They will at one point have to resort to violence, and this is because it is impossible to beat your enemy if you're not even playing the same game as them. A riot would not only be the most effective solution. This is because any other methods would involve many unnecessary deaths and many people who would want to blame others. The blame would most likely fall upon the nation or nations that helped in the freeing of the people. The method I have suggested would be the most reasonable because it would prove just as effective with not nearly as many deaths, with no chance of the blame falling upon the nation or nations that chose to help free the people.